So I wanted to talk about some tensioners that I've been messing around with, and I've made some just personal discoveries that I wanted to show. Um, some conveniences, just angle-wise, that I think that I really appreciate and like, flexibility and angle when a lock is on a chain or a door and it's hard to get to if it's at an angle and you have to pick it up and look at it, or if you have to hold it upside down. It makes a big difference on the different ways that you have to attack the lock that you're dealing with. And I think that not everyone, we see YouTube videos where everyone's attacking stuff in a vise, but we don't talk a lot about real life scenarios. I mean, that happens in the forums, and that happens a lot in other places, but we don't see it as often on YouTube. So I wanted to show, some of the ways that I've just come up with and show off some of the stuff that I've been kind of theory crafting. So here's some top of the keyway stuff that I've been doing, just some basic, gives you an attack at the top of the keyway, keeps not center, but almost center. I was also doing this with another piece, which is this piece here, and for the guys that want to pick upside down, or in case you're in a situation where you have to pick upside down, you can also do top of the keyway and still keep the exact same finger control. So if the lock is on a storage unit or it has to be upside down, you can still do top of the keyway. It still applies the correct torsion to the lock. Been just toying with some small versions for comfort. Put a little handle on there for fun. I think the big one that I made here, it'll actually stay in there, or stay in some of these locks on its own. It's actually good enough to pick and then stay. Oops. Of course I say that, and then as soon as I turn the video on, that's how it starts to go wrong. So let's see if I can do this with the camera in my way. Of course. No. Of course not. With that, I don't know if that helps at all, but I'm having problems with the camera being in my way. But for top of the keyway, what I've done with this is I've twisted the top so that it grips. Once you wedge it in there, it actually is twisted on the tip too. So you're gonna set it in the keyway itself, and then it kind of locks in right there. So it kind of grabs itself and locks itself in. Come up with some crossways as well to do. Forgot to turn my airplane mode on again. So some crossways to do it, so you can have straight across if you need to. This is also good for lefties that can't figure out how to use their finger, or if you're trying to teach someone new and they just won't quit using their thumb no matter what, and they have to use their thumb to pick. Then that'll give them range of motion. It gives them a whole different field to use. I don't like it, personally. I mean, I guess you could develop a mastery of anything you put your mind to, but I don't personally enjoy picking that way, but anybody can do it, I guess. Another thing I come up with here is this, and this is one of my favorite things that I've come up with recently, and I'm sure a lot of this stuff's been done in some form or another long before my time, but I was trying to come up with something similar to the foul wrench, kind of a pick through design, and this is kind of like a Y wrench. Could use it as tweezers, I suppose. And when you put it in, depending on what kind of lock you want to pick, you stick it in there, and then you could just go to picking. You could turn the core back, forward, any way you want, and it's hard to do with the camera in the way. There we go. So, and still, even after just picking that, it's still, I'm going both ways, it's upside down, and it's still not coming out. So that's just, I mean, I'm getting full dual push and pull action out of this, and I'm getting top tension and bottom tension without it popping out of the cylinder. And I've set this up so that I get maximum push through with just, so I'm got the bottoms articulating correctly to apply the correct pressure, and when it's turning the lock, and same with the top, it's applying the correct pulling tension at the same time as it's pushing. So they're even. They're both doing their job accordingly, and they work on any size. I don't know about some of the fancier, crazy bitting stuff, but as far as just other locks, they work just the same. Let's see if it'll focus there. No difference. They opens them right up. No problem. So I wanted to share that, and then lastly, I wanted to share was these, and I've been twisting them for vertical, and what that does is when you twist them right here at the top, it puts a twist that, see here when I put this in like that, oops, sorry, it leaves that open there, and even when I put a lot of tension on it, it doesn't bind my pick as much, and it leaves the keyway open when tensioning the lock. Sorry, because of that twist. And then when I turn it around and do the exact same thing, because of the way it's twisted, it goes right in the middle of the keyway. So if you're at a different direction lock, like this one, so now instead of being on the bottom side of this one, I'm on the left side of this warding. So now I'm going to be on the right side of the warding, going up into the corner. So I've twisted each end to opposite directions. So now that I've twisted, the twist is going to be up into the corner, up into the corner of the warding here. So now when I apply the tension to the clockwise, it's twisting it away from the keyway, or at least the place where I want to place my pick, and up into this corner of the warding. And so it's giving me open access to the keyway, or to the pin stack. So same with this. If I wanted to switch and go to the other side, it's giving me the free access. And I found this really useful on discus locks and a couple other things. So I just wanted to share some of the stuff that I've been playing around with, and hope you guys enjoy it. like and subscribe, and stay safe and stay legal. Thanks a bunch.